is a Korean company. Like I mentioned, they actually had a start in 2017. So it's not a very long-standing company. They've been around for about 5 years now. And they are predominantly a producent, but also a research lab when it comes to new formulations, new products, new exciting categories even of products that they're going to be bringing onto the market. They are definitely focused a little bit more on the professional application. Korea produces a lot of skincare products. It's definitely a major contributor to the skincare market in the world yearly. But of course, predominantly these type of products are your retail lines, retail products, available to pretty much any consumer out there. HUBISLAB is distinct in a way that this is a professional company. Their aim is to produce and distribute products through the spa, clinic, medi-spa channels around the world. So very, very different company. It is a skin research lab first and a producent of skincare products second. So very, very unique in the way that they operate. Now, why Korean skincare, you may ask? I think the awareness of Korean skincare has been really gaining a momentum in the last little while. I myself discovered Korean skincare about 5 years ago. I was gifted a few products and I really fell in love with the way that how the products feel, what they do for your skin. They're very, very different. There are some marked differences between a Western skincare and Korean skincare. I will itemize it for you right now. So if you are actually wondering, Korean skincare is typically viewed by Korean consumers as a necessity. It is not a luxury like very often we see here in the Western world. It is simply a necessity. It's a hygiene. It is also part of everybody's lifestyle. If you notice, one of the biggest trends right now in Korean skincare is actually this glass skin look. You can see it in that upper left corner image there. That is pretty much the kind of standard of beauty in Korea today, is to have this perfect, glassy, well taken care of, well-maintained skin with no blemishes. That is pretty much what they're looking for. Now, Korean skincare can be very much a lot of fun. The packaging, the formulas, they're not only about what the product does for you, but how the product feels, what the product looks like, and it's fun to use. That is predominantly something that they are really focused on. So the stress in their skincare, what the skincare is expected to do, is really mainly on protection and reinforcement of skin. So this is slightly different again from Western kind of ideas where we really insult our skin with a lot of ingredients or type of technologies or even treatments that really injure the skin and kind of expect a result from the skin as the skin recovers. In Korea, it's a little bit different. The treatment should be to the point, but it should be also very delicate in its application. So one more very marked difference between Western skincare and Korean skincare is the fact that they are ahead in skincare research. Depending on the source where you look, the kind of amount of time that's being given to that is about 5 to 10 years ahead. And yes, I've experienced some of the products and I can tell you that they are like nothing else you'll ever experience. They are definitely more futuristic in terms of research, development, and the overall feel and texture of the formulas. Now, when you're thinking about who actually creates these products, obviously companies will do that on their own. They're usually privately owned companies and research labs, but they are actually few governmental bodies in Korea that looked after the wholesomeness, the safety, and the efficacy of the products. So one of them definitely is mainly the FDA. So this is a body that is responsible not only for the safety research. So companies that submit their overall formulas, they need to show that this is not only a safe product, but also an efficacious product. This is very much different from what we have here in terms of Health Canada approvals and, of course, FDA in the United States. So slightly different approach. And of course, when it comes to the ingredient technologies, the innovative ingredients, things that maybe you're not familiar with, I'm going to be mentioning a little bit later. They're going to be new things, new kind of ideas that you're going to be able to, put forward to your consumers, to your clients. And one another marked point for the Korean companies is that they rely on a locally sourced and really time-tested ingredients. You will notice that a lot of the ingredients, things like green tea, ginseng extract, they are very, very deeply rooted in the Korean and Asiatic cultures, really, as one of the main healing ingredients in the ideas of health and beauty. So for the ingredients specifically, we are looking at number of ingredients that are highly nutritive, typically plant-based. They do not shy away from animal byproducts, and you probably are aware that one of the biggest trends in Korea today is using something like snail mucin, which is of course purified, super prepared for skincare application, but honey extracts or other forms of like I said, byproducts of animals. So if you are a vegan, you have to be a little bit more strategic looking at the products from that angle, because a lot of the formulas are actually going to be including these type of ingredients. Now, one of the marked differences between the Western and the Korean market is the presence of fermented extracts. In Korea, there is a belief, and this is a research sort of verified belief, that fermented ingredients penetrate skin better and, of course, offer extracts of potent plants that are better absorbed and better received by your skin. So you will see that we actually do utilize a lot of fermented technology, even in HUBISLAB products. I will itemize that for you, but keep that in your mind. If you are actually aware of Korean cuisine, or you tried something from kind of the food area, you know that they consume a lot of what's called kimchi, which is basically a very specifically fermented and prepared cabbage. So that is very much an ingrained part of their ethnicity. Now, plant waters is another thing that is very often used by the company. Here in our Western cultures, we use products that are based predominantly on water. Water happens to be one of the easiest universal solvents for chemists to work with. However, in Korea, nothing goes to waste. So even when there are preparations of certain type of ingredients by distillation and isolation processes, whatever the plant waters that are left from that fermentation or preparation process, they're actually being put back into the product as a base for obviously the ingredients to go into. So this is very, very interesting, but it makes the products that much more concentrated and that much more effective. So of course, we also talk about, strict science, so new advanced technologies in terms of encapsulation, stabilization of ingredients, as well as penetration vector technologies, which we will actually talk about one specific one in a moment as well. So for the verification process, in Korea, this is really kind of sensed as a moral responsibility. You as a Korean person, as a Korean company, really have a responsibility to the consumers to put out products that are not only efficacious, work well, have a concentrated amount of ingredients, but also are safe for your use. So that means that they do not carry any type of toxic byproducts, or, the ingredients are definitely also checked for safety and contaminants. So that is something that is really interesting, I think, to anybody who thinks about responsible skincare. Now, one of the main ingredients that you're going to learn about in Asiatic skincare, so whether this is Japanese skincare or Korean skincare, is something called Santella Asiatica. You may actually, if you had any type of brush with Asian skincare, you notice that this is probably basis of almost every single product that the companies put out. It's a very interesting ingredient with very cool history. This is a very time-tested ingredient. In Korea and in Japan, this is one of the main ingredients that have been used for application in skin as well as by digestion for many millennia. There is a bit of an anecdote as to where the idea came from to use these type of plants in these type of preparations. Well, apparently, people observe nature. So by observation of nature, you learn a lot of things. And one of those learned type of things that we observed was the fact that when tigers in Asia had a, let's say, a battle either for females or for land, territory, one of the things that people notice is that when they fought, obviously they got wounded. As they got wounded, they were also going into these plains of Santella Asiatica and kind of rolling themselves around in order to get a little bit of a healing response from the plants themselves. So people observed this type of behavior, and this kind of became a standard for Korean and for Asiatic skincare right now, is bringing this ingredient in, studying it very, very carefully. This is now medicinally studied ingredient as well. And it has been proven to show effects in wound healing, regenerating, repairing, and also antibacterial. So really, really phenomenal base for products in general. Going back to HUBISLAB, when you're thinking about their brand, there's obviously a brand philosophy that they do want to follow. And one of the things that will be very, very exciting for us as skin treatment providers, and that is that it is a human bioscience-based research company first. That means they research their own formulas. This formula then is subjected to KFDA, and of course it is evaluated for its safety, efficacy, and purity. They do that very much commonly with all of their products. Unlike FDA and Canada and Canada Health, or Health Canada, I should say, KFDA is a very fast-moving machine. They process everything quite efficiently, and therefore the products are brought to the market quite quickly. So typically it takes about a year to two to develop a product from the very conception to the actual packaging and delivery to market. So they're looking at innovation, effectiveness, and of course creativity. So bringing on new categories of products, new ingredients, something that is definitely a little bit more impulse buy kind of generating. Now, they go a bit of an extra mile. When you're thinking about HUBISLAB, they are able to produce products with, or without common unwanted ingredients. And typically when you're thinking about what the markets want, whether this is the Western market or the Asian Eastern market, people are looking at preservation bases that do not include parabens. So they definitely make that promise to you. They also do not use any forms of formaldehyde derivatives. So things like benzophenone, for example, here would be one of them. Of course, there will be no traces of any type of pesticides, phenoxyethanols, which are very, very often used in Western culture, but kind of are deemed to be skin irritants for some degree of population. And of course, anything else that can be potentially allergenic or dangerous to some individuals out there. So with that, when you're thinking about the overall message behind the HUBISLAB Cosmetics, they are really producing the type of products that are not just there to beautify your skin and give you temporary effects, but give you an improvement effect. So continuous effect in your skin that obviously leads to the recovery of certain skin conditions, and of course the kind of protective aspect of the skin as well. So strengthening the protection in your skin. Now, they are using one specific platform technology, which is actually quickly identifiable even by you trying the products, putting the products on your skin. The products disappear and absorb very, very quickly. And this is actually given by a specific type of penetration vector that is used in their products. And this is what we actually called MITT, so macromolecule transduction domain. I know it's a big word. I know it's a mouthful, but really what it means is basically whenever they have some form of a cargo that needs to be brought into your skin and potentially even brought inside your cells, they actually pack this cargo into very, very micronized molecules. Then they are attached to a tail, which is either lipo or hydrophilic, and this transduction domain is actually able to force the product deeper inside your skin through the kind of biospheres of lipids on the surface of our skin, of course, which are really the barrier repellent. And of course, then deeper into the skin and even inside your cells, if that's where the delivery needs to happen. So this is a pretty much very well studied and analyzed type of transduction technology. What the company actually borrowed it from is medicinal applications. So application for drugs, delivery of very, very small molecular drugs inside the cells for treatment of, for example, cancer. So this has proven to be quite therapeutic, quite effective, and it also prevents wasting of materials on the surface of the skin. So by comparison, conventional liposomal delivery systems or other forms of delivery systems that are very often observed in the West provide you with the ordinary kind of penetration in the skin. Obviously, there will be some effects. Some of the ingredients are going to go where they're dedicated to go and make changes in your skin. But one of the things that does happen to a lot of these type of penetration technologies is that many of the factors are actually wasted on the surface of the skin. Whereas with the platform technology that HUBISLAB is using, the MIT, you're going to be able to bring the product deeper into the skin for better results. That's the whole idea behind it. So that is something to keep in mind going forward when you're thinking about the formulas, when you're experiencing the products eventually on your own skin, you're going to be able to really see the difference. So I'm going to start with two of our main lines that have been brought to your essentials. I actually have very good news since I've built this PowerPoint and I'm going to be talking about the products. So you have some updates. We decided to actually expand the line. We will have predominantly majority, 95% of the products that HUBISLAB produces very shortly at your essentials. But today we take a bit of a step back and talk about the main categories of skincare they have. So the first line that we're going to talk about is predominantly used for professional application, and it is referred to as post-race. This is a line of products that are used for soothing and recovery effect in the skin, predominantly after a specific professional treatment. Then the second one that I'm going to talk about is positioned a little bit more from a home care perspective, and it is actually given to clients who predominantly are worried about aging aspect, but the first major concern is pigmentation, and particularly when it comes to melasma. So those two categories of products, either working together or independently, are going to be able to resolve many conditions that you observe in your client's skin on daily basis. So with that in mind, for the post-raise line, we do have 3 products available at the moment at your essentials, all of them in professional canteen sizes. So you're going to notice that their canteen sizes are actually huge. Typically, we see up to maybe 100 ml for creams, up to 50 ml for serums. They actually more than quadruple that. So you're going to notice that some of them are 1 liter canteen, some of them are half a liter canteen, with not a lot of difference in pricing. So the pricing is very, very attractive for it. Of course, if you're looking for specific pricing, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to email you the wholesale list. So the first product that I'm going to introduce to you is probably one of the more multifunctional product. This is what's called Chamomile Soothing Gel. It comes in a 500 ml canteen. And like I said, it's a multi-purpose product. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, it is used because of its medicinal flower complex, which offers soothing and recovery type of effects in the skin. And it is used predominantly after resurfacing treatment or treatment with modalities such as microneedling, nanoneedling, microdermabrasion, anything that may make the skin quite angry or in some ways reddened, and definitely needs to be recovered in that aspect. So we actually use this product predominantly because of its Chamomile Complex, which pretty much resolves redness on contact. If you ever use this product, you will be able to notice that it is absolutely amazing just on its own, but can also be combined with a variety of different type of modalities. So as a conductor, it can be used for things like ultrasound, ultrasonic penetration, electroporation or iontophoresis, whatever else you might be using. Most of us are actually equipped with things like microcurrent or RF, and this actually become a really, really nice conductor for those type of modalities with those extra soothing and balancing effect. On its own, however, it can be used for a number of applications. So as a mask, to soothe, to hydrate, to recover, and especially after some of the treatment options, as I mentioned before. It is also a form of a clear, smooth gel. And as such, it can be used under specific type of either modalities or secondary masks. So for example, for clients who are under an LED dome or use masks with LED, this can be used as a skin surface protectant, but also as a light coupling agent. So that means that it actually will help your skin interact with some of the light therapy that you're subjecting the skin to. So it can also be used as a very, very thin layer under a peel-off mask. That is a great application. I've tried it myself. Actually works really, really well. I tried it in conjunction with micro needling, and it works amazingly well for that. And of course, as a hydrating, soothing mask just on its own. So really fantastic product. It will definitely assist you with a lot of the recovery from the treatments that you're offering to your clients. The second product comes in a canteen that is 1 liter, so 1000 ml. It's a huge, huge canteen. It is a liquid product. It is actually categorized in Korean skincare as an essence. So it's not typically a toner. It goes a little bit beyond that. If you notice the actual substance, that is a key ingredient here for us, it's in its name. So this product is called Derma Regenerator K Solution. K, of course, refers to vitamin K, which is the main vasoprotective agents that we use here. So it quickly strengthens the capillaries. It kind of allows them to relax a little bit and to contract to the regular state, preventing kind of like a long inflammatory process. And of course, it also assists with another ingredient, which is Portaluca oleracea. This is actually a common weed that grows anywhere in the summer. But its extracts are very, very anti-inflammatory and anti-redness by effect. So really nice for your clients to receive. Of course, this action is then strengthened by hyaluronic acid and other type of nutritive and protective type of ingredients. So with that, how do you use this type of a product? Well, definitely you want to use it any time that you would be using a toner. So in preparation of treatment, after treatment, and before the final steps of your treatment. So before you apply the final serums and the final moisturizer and sunblock. So we can use it on cotton rounds like I described, or you can use it as a gauze compress, which is my favorite way to applying this product. I suffer from a lot of broken capillaries. You probably have a lot of clients who are in the same predicament. So I want to definitely protect my skin after a hefty treatment. And this is one of those ways to reduce the redness really, really quickly and make those capillaries super happy. You can also use it in a pulverizer. I actually attach a little picture of an air spray. Some of us have it, or we have it in conjunction with oxygen therapy. And of course, as a conductor. So for those of you who have an old-fashioned microcurrent machines that are kind of like the bipolar prong, you can use them as the wetting agent to kind of transfer the current through. It can also be used in electrocoagulation as a conductor, so wetting the skin and then applying your needles on surface, or after RF, chemical peeling, microdermabrasion, microneedling, etc., as a gauze or cotton round applicator. Now, of course, you can use it, and this is a completely alternative use, but you can mix it into products as well. So peel-off masks in particular, or some type of, powdered mask that need a little bit of suspension. Instead of using water, you can use this. And of course, to also, and this is one of my favorite ways of using this product, to be honest, is to actually use it with a cleanser. So as a emulsifier for your cleansers. Really nice for that type of effect. And then finally in the line, we also brought in one specific formula for cream. This one has a rejuvenating and recovery type of effect. It is absolutely amazing. This cream is equipped with a type of hyaluronic acid complex that actually contains three different forms of hyaluronic acid. One of them, Matrix hyaluronic acid, which is actually something that is being applied around the world on victims that have suffered burns. So it actually allows the skin to have a bit of an external protection. It is in a type of a matrix, so you definitely feel it on the surface of the skin, but it's a very, very pleasant type of effect. And by protecting the surface of the skin and preventing dehydration, it allows the skin to recover and produce new skin cells. So in this situation, this is actually used post-treatment, most definitely after microneedling or some type of resurfacing treatment, to really protect the skin, to rehydrate the skin, balance the skin, and return the skin to normal. One of the things that it's also equipped with, which may become very, very sort of attractive to us as professional estheticians, is that it actually contains ceramides. And ceramides are one of the most basic but hard to find ingredients in Western cultures to protect the surface of the skin. One of the main building blocks of our own natural lipids. So really, really nice treatment. I'm hoping that we are going to be actually also offering this in retail. At some point that will be also available for you. But for now, we do have it in 500 ml canteens for, of course, after treatment application. So if you are wondering what type of effects are you going to expect from use of this line, you can see here, this is actually studies that are performed by the company themselves. This is definitely not like other companies when they actually subject you to before and after pictures from simply just, you know, using pictures that were actually made by pharmacological companies that produce the products. This is a little different. It offers a real-time approach, and this is actually between 4 to 6 weeks use of the post-rate line, not only in professional application, but these people also use some of the products at home after treatment. So you can see somebody here with some evidence of rosacea. Her skin calmed down quite nicely, and also very highly reactive skins, which we see a little bit of a tricharia, the kind of rash that can be kind of inexplicable, happens to clients sometimes because of exposure to different things or environmental exposures as well. And you can see that her skin is also quite recovered. So really nice for that. In addition to this, we also brought in a specific line of products, which is now more for treatment of specific problems. It is not only an anti-aging line, but it's also a line of products that predominantly target pigmentation. So anything that belongs to the Derma Max line of products offers you solutions not only to age-related pigmentation, but also and predominantly melasma, which is one of the hardest, I think you agree with me on this, the hardest, the most kind of troublesome conditions to help your client recover from. So this would be referred to as a functional skin whitening line with very efficacious, evidence-proven ingredients, and also ingredients that are well tolerated. We have different options. You know, clients can definitely now, even by prescription, get their hands on ingredients like retinols or hydroquinone, for example. But we know that historically speaking, these ingredients can cause skin irritation in some individuals and obviously unwanted side effects. You will actually not have this with this line. It is equipped with such ingredients that they are completely well tolerated for your client. Now, this line predominantly is based on at-home regimen. So the products that I'm going to be able to introduce today to you are now at Your Essentials only available in retail, but we are actually going to bring in professional products as well. They should be available in a span of a couple of weeks for us. So if you're interested in that, to incorporate it in some of your professional treatments, please do so. I think it will be really, really beneficial to you and your clients. But for now, what we have is basically a 3-step program for your clients with very, very specific ingredients. Some of those ingredients you might be familiar with, some of them may be completely new to you. But one of the most fantastic ingredients that we have here is tranexamic acid. This is something that has been used in Japan and Korea now for some years, but it is a new ingredient entering the realm of Western cosmetics. I've already encountered some products in the Western sphere that have been formulated with this ingredient. So what is it? It is actually an anti-hemorrhagic compound. Typically, this will be used as a medication in case if you end up in an emergency, and in kind of, intravenous kind of application of this ingredient will definitely help you stop bleeding. But it is also used a lot of the times in women who have very heavy periods. And this is just to sort of help them slow down the blood flow. So how does this relate to melasma? You might be asking. Well, melasma typically is an inflammatory condition in the skin, and it has been linked to the presence of leaky, weak capillaries. So clients predominantly who have sort of diffuse appearance to their melasma, you may notice that underneath all of this, you're also going to be able to see a network of broken capillaries. So this is definitely something that if you observe the skin of your clients, you're going to be able to see that. Irina asked a question. Let me just quickly have a look here. So, hi, Natalia, which products of HUBISLAB cannot be used on pregnant and breastfeeding women? So to be honest, Irina, out of the products that I'm introducing today, none of them have any repercussions for pregnancy or breastfeeding. They can be very safely used in those situations. So this is definitely a winning point when it comes to melasma, because there's a lot of components out there that women who suffer from melasma during pregnancy cannot use. But this line is completely safe for them to use, okay? So yes, so fantastic. Teen and kids absolutely as well, no problem. So tranexamic acid is definitely the #1 sort of component here to mention to your clients, as it is a very, very different and unique ingredient. We know there's a relationship between melasma and the blood flow through the tissues. There's a connection between the plasmin in the blood and the activation of melanocytes. So we can definitely impact it by introduction of tranexamic acid. The secondary ingredient here is glutathione. This is a major kind of antioxidant. It's naturally produced by your skin, by your body. It is deemed to be 100 times as potent as vitamin C, that is L-ascorbic acid, of course. And glutathione is added here because of its anti-melanogenic properties. So it actually has been shown in studies to halt production of melanin. Yes, of course, SPF protection will be definitely detrimental to your results here as well. The products themselves do not include SPF, therefore external SPF will have to be applied to the skin for sure. And then a last ingredient here from the kind of triary ingredient base is the very potent, super stabilized vitamin C. So this is actually chemically referred to as a 3,0-ethyl ascorbic acid. Brand new type of patented ingredient now in Korea. It holds its own specific patent. You can even see it there in the little corner. They provided me with a copy of that. And it has been shown, and to be honest, I've been using it on scar. Like I have a few pigmented scars around my arms. And I have been using this to a great success. Nothing worked quite as well or quickly for me as products that actually featured this specific vitamin C. So really fantastic base for products. We also have one secondary ingredient. This is a substance referred to as madecoside, traditionally spoken about, but of course the kind of trademark line here is the Meta White. That's what it goes by. It is a skin brightening ingredient, again holding its own specific patent for skin lightening agent. And what it actually does, it inhibits the PEC2, PEC2 alpha, which are predominantly involved in the inflammation and stimulation of pigmentation as opposed to inflammatory process. So they hold the inflammatory signals in the skin that then lead to pigmentation. So really fantastic formula. I cannot say enough about it. The ingredients speak for themselves, definitely. So 3-step approach, 3 items. So Derma Max Brightening Serum is definitely the workhorse here. If your client were to go away with one treatment option only, I'd probably suggest getting this. It is highly concentrated with all of the ingredients that we mentioned before. It is also in a vehicle of a very lightweight gel. And it can be added pretty much after cleansing, toning. Then at the serum stage, you'll be using that over not only the pigmented areas, but even all over the face for more uniform hyperpigmentation resolution. And of course, then you're going to continue to a moisturizer and a sunblock. So this formula can be used twice a day. Definitely. The results that you should be seeing from it will probably present themselves anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks. And it really, despite which Fitzpatrick category your client falls into, they're going to definitely see a recovery and resolution when using these type of products. Now, to strengthen the effects of the serum, of course, it is recommended to sort of combine it with some of the moisturizing options. This particular cream here that comes in a 40-gram tube is available to your clients. This one actually has almost an immediate brightening effect. It has a very specifically prepared titanium dioxide complex in it that gives you almost like an undershade of evenness in the skin as you're applying the cream. But of course, on its own, it does have treatment potential as it contains the ingredients we spoke about before, but also has a sort of a supplier of more supple appearance to the skin. So that, of course, is the oleic acid and the palmito-oleic acids as well that are in there to sort of stimulate the production of lipids and protect the skin externally as well. You can use it day and night if you wish, so your client could potentially walk out with just the 2 products. But what if you have a client who's a little bit more mature and a client who maybe undergoes resurfacing treatments at the same time? They probably benefit from a product that we refer to as a Derma Max Brightening Clinic. So I know this is a new category of product. It is not called a moisturizer or a cream, but rather a clinic. So what the heck is a clinic? Clinic is referred to in Korea as a super concentrated type of a treatment that is definitely not only including the kind of super concentrated form of the main ingredients, but also protectants and nutritive complexes. So when you're looking at the ingredient basis here, you're going to notice that it is equipped with something called Buplex VH, which is a concentration of different type of vitamins, macro and micronutrients that really also allow the skin to recover from treatment options that your client may be actually receiving from you as an esthetician in a treatment room. So this is a fantastic nighttime treatment. It does have a bit of a heavier consistency, therefore it makes it to be very attractive to clients who are a little bit more mature or who need that extra layer of protection at night to recover. I actually currently am using all 3 products. I can tell you from my own usage, I noticed the effects of the products within 2 weeks, and this was using products only and performing pretty much a standard twice weekly type of exfoliation on myself, but no use of any other type of treatment product. So I have not been, resurfaced or used peels or did microneedling in the past. Within 2 weeks, I noticed definite recovery and lessening of pigmentation. So really exciting. I am so happy that we have these products for us to use because they are going to be effective for melasma very much for your clients. So here you can see an interval of 6 to 8 weeks use of the Derma Max product on variety of different type of melasma. So this is more of that sort of post-inflammatory melasma, very easily triggered by inflammation in the skin. This is for a gentleman here. You can see the difference in the pigmentation saturation. And that very kind of blotchy type melasma, very concentrated pigment and recovery here too. And you can actually see that this is a very often seen or talked about type of effect from darker skin individuals. They want something to also brighten the eye contour, which naturally from their ethnicity, they have the predisposition to it, this can also be achieved with Derma mask. So you can see that there is slight recovery in this area as well. So with continuous use, of course, the products will recover and will help your skin to get even greater results. But this is specifically captured at the 8 weeks range, so that to show you exactly what the effectiveness of the product will be in a short span of time. So hopefully you find that really, really interesting, and you're going to be excited to offer it to your clients. Now, speaking about more of a professional application. So these products categories that I'm going to talk about now are predominantly for professional use only, and they really are positioned to improve the outcome of your professional treatment. So you can incorporate it into many, many treatment options or existing treatments that you already have, things like microneedling or dermaplaning. This will be just a secondary type of product that you can definitely bring in to strengthen the results for your clients. So with that, you can, you can also use it with a variety of different forms of modalities. And what I'm going to start with is a quick overview of our Ampule line. This is a unique category of products from a standpoint that it's not only a professional product. They come in a 50 ml bottles. They can also be retailed to the client. So this is where your client really has an opportunity to take a super concentrated, highly effective formula that is almost like a professional product and implement it in their everyday routine. So this is definitely for you and for your client to decide upon, but it is a very exciting option. So in this category of treatment, we have 4 distinct formulas. I'm going to introduce them to you one by one. The first one is a Chamomile Complex. This one belongs to the post-raise line that I spoke about at the very beginning. So you can see a sort of common ingredient here, which is the Chamomile Complex. This is actually where HUBISLAB is using the plant water, so the actual distillation water from production of extracts of chamomile, and uses that as a suspension for the ingredients, making the overall substances from chamomile up to 70% concentration. So really, really highly concentrated. It is definitely positioned to alleviate inflammation, dryness, or even in some situations, allergies that had been, present in your client's skins. There is secondary ingredients here too. Portulaca aureata, again, also referred to as purslane, is making its appearance. There's a little picture of it here I gave you for reference of what it looks like. It is also used for soothing and moisturizing potential. So definitely great for your clients who are undergoing, again, a more of a pro-inflammatory treatment, suffer from rosacea, have sensitized or sensitive skin with flashing or blushing. Definitely good for those type of individuals. Now, the second ampule is a Hyaluron Complex at 65% concentration of hyaluronic acid ingredients. It is definitely positioned here as a pro-recovery treatment, even with conjunction to microneedling treatments or nanoneedling, resurfacing treatments and such. It is actually based on aloe vera juice, leaf juice extract as its base, and it contains 3 different distinct forms of hyaluronic acid and also an extract of Indian lotus flower for sort of extra kind of like a blend of ingredients that also prevent inflammation. So really, really nice in terms of how it acts on the skin. The Rosa centifolia flower also have an antioxidant effect. So this product can be used widely by any skin type, even if your client has a very, very oily skin, as that extra hydration locking ingredient, and to recover from fine lines, fine wrinkles that may be the first starting point of aging. So position it like that to your clients. The formulas for these ampules is very lightweight gel, which makes it super highly absorbent to the skin. You put this product on, it absorbs almost immediately into the skin. It is that micronized. Now, for your clients who suffer from breakouts, and this is again, Irina had a question about kids and whatnot. So this is definitely something that you can offer to very young consumers, so kids maybe even as young as 10 or 11 years old. It is predominantly based on a tea tree complex with the suspension of tea tree water. So very, very highly concentrated, super sebum controlling, antibacterial by effect as well. It does have additional ingredients that lock in hydration, so trehalose, which is an ingredient, it's a derivative of sugar. It locks in hydration, keeps the skin moist and easy for the skin to recover. And biosaccharide is a skin softening ingredient. This ingredient is quite interesting because it also prevents hyperkeratinization, which is really the first kind of starting point of acne. That's where acne really all begins from. So really, really smart ampule, amazing for that category of clients. Again, does not have any type of ingredients that can irritate the skin or give you any type of backlash. And then there is this. So this is definitely one of the more close to heart for me. It is a complex of vitamin C at 50%. Again, exhibiting this one specific super stabilized vitamin C, which is 3,0-ethyl ascorbic acid. It is super, super potent. I actually had really fantastic result with some of my post-inflammatory scarring with this. Within a couple of weeks, I noticed effects. The brightening was unparalleled, like nothing else I've ever used, to be honest. Very, very strong action. So it can be used definitely for clients who wish to brighten up their complexion. Yes, it also can be utilized in addition to your Derma Max if your client wants maximum impact. They don't mind the pricing. I mean, the pricing is not outrageous, but they don't mind to go with a little bit of a higher price point, but they want the maximum, the fastest results, fastest effect. So this definitely could be incorporated. So the way that you would actually apply the 3 products in addition to this is the ampule first, the serum second, and then corresponding moisturizing cream. So really, really fantastic product. Now, this vitamin C, of course, is not only there to lighten and brighten the complexion. It has additional effect in the skin, and this additional effect really is also the anti-aging or collagen building effect in the skin. So don't be afraid to also position this as an anti-aging product, okay? And for your reference, I included this as well. You can take a caption of this if you'd like with your phones or your computers. This kind of allows you to also make a very smart combination of treatments for your clients if they want to target more than one specific issue. So for dry and atopic skin, of course, here you can use the Chamomile and the Hyaluron Complex. For clients who have kind of dull and age complexion, you can use the Hyaluron and the vitamin C. For oily and acneic, again, because you're going to be dealing with some hyperpigmentation here too, your tea tree ampule, as well as your vitamin C complex can be used in conjunction. And for sensitive skin treatment with some potential to break out, of course, chamomile and tea tree ampules can be used in affiliation together. So really, really fantastic resolutions. Now, for the big buck, the big bang over here, we do have formulas for ampules available to you now. These are actually in sterile preparations. So they're suitable for microneedling, they're suitable for nanoneedling, electroporation, or any other type of penetration enhancing type of effect. They can also be, and completely fine to do that too, applied just by hands to the skin with no additional help. They are super micronized. They have the platform technology, which we spoke about at the beginning of the presentation. So they will be highly, highly effective for your clients. In this range of products, we do have an option for your clients to definitely choose a moisturizing formula, which again here features a little bit of extra ingredients that maybe are a surprise in a moisturizing effect. We do have, for example, the avocado fruit extract, which is actually making the ampule feel almost oily. It's a very, very distinct formula with a distinct kind of touch feel to it. Absorbs into the skin very, very highly and quickly, but it leaves the skin uber comfortable. And that is really when you have dehydration, when you're kind of dealing with maybe post-treatment effect, that is definitely what you're looking for predominantly. There is also this Hinoki cypress extract complex here for extra anti-inflammatory effects. So really, really fantastic formula for you. We do have also a set of the ampules that's available for treatment of acne. So this one will definitely have more of an antibacterial, anti-inflammatory effect. This one features tea tree extract. Again, the same extracts from the cypress leaves and the hard leaf extract for more antibacterial and soothing effect for your clients. And then we also have a brightening extract. So this one definitely is featuring mainly arbutin, niacinamide. Those are definitely the time-tested, proven ingredients that work very well for pigmentation. And of course, we also have things that further the pigmentary resolve even more. So white mulberry extract, Santella extract, and licorice root extract. So feel free to use that for clients whose main concern is pigmentation. And then finally, last but not least, we also do offer you the peptide complex. Now, this one will be used for clients who definitely want to target more of their sagging skin, wrinkle recovery, and so on and so forth. This is, of course, here now based on copper, tripeptide, adenosine, which is one of the main amino acids used in formation of new collagen, hydrolyzed collagen for skin strengthening, and beta-glucan for recovery from inflammatory processes. So please feel free to use these ampules, one per client. There's 12 ampules inside, the glass ampules. You are given a little gadget. You can actually see it here in the picture, which is plastic. It allows you to open the ampule safely and then use the same gadget as a dispenser for the ampule. So this is definitely professionally recommended to use also with machinery if you wish. Any type of microneedling, electroporation, iontophoresis, ultrasound, or micron spray type of application will be absolutely super effective for your clients. We do have a little video here. I'll show you a little part of it as to how to use them in conjunction with microneedling or nanoneedling. So we of course want to prep the skin very, very well by cleansing and disinfection. We then apply the ampule to the concerned areas and work them in with our either nanoneedling or microneedling pens. So that will work really, really well for your client. The recovery is quick. The product is super absorbent. If you notice, there is no necessity to use a secondary gliding option with this, but if you would like to strengthen some of the kind of moisture binding effect, you can also use the hyaluronic acid 65% ampule that we spoke about before as an additional gliding agent. So in order to build it into your routine, it's very simple to incorporate it with all of the products that we talked about before, or will still talk about. But pretty much after your resurfacing option, you would apply your ampule, so choice of one. You can combine it with the Hyaluron Complex, apply it to the skin with variety of your performance enhancing type of modalities. Continue to Derma Regenerate case solution to recover either by gauzes or by cotton rounds. That can be then reinforced by application of Chamomile Complex, Chamomile Soothing Gel as a mask, or you can continue to the variety of mask options which we yet to talk about, and of course then protect the skin with Derma Regenerate Cell Cream. So definitely a great option here to incorporate into your treatment. Now, those were all very great ampules. They had single effect in the skin, but if you want multiple effects, they're more, I would say, scientifically advanced or more concentrated ampule options. We do have the R20 range. It actually comprises of two formulas. The first one is the Intense Bird's Nest and Sodium DNA ampule. And if you notice, they are packaged in 4 ampules per box. There's 8 ml of fluid in each ampule. So what that means to you is that you can actually use 2 ml per client, which then effectively the entire set of ampules will be effective for 16 treatments. These have a little bit of a higher price point. They're not outrageous, but a little bit more expensive. And of course, if you want to be a little bit more sanitary with them, they do come with little dispenser cups. But if you want, they also have a rubber component on the top of the bottle, so they can actually be subtracted by use of syringes. So completely up to you. Now, in terms of the formulas themselves, for the first one that we sort of refer to here, so the bird's nest extract and sodium DNA ampule, what are those ingredients? Bird's nest extract is actually a really fantastic ingredient that is very well known in Asia. It is actually subtract of amino acid complexes that come from a bird's nest. This is literally a nest that a bird's kind of made from their own secretions of saliva. And their saliva is absolutely highly concentrated with amino acids in particular, and very rich in epidermal growth factors, which is probably one of the most anti-aging growth factor that you can introduce to the skin. So really, if you're thinking about rebuilding collagen structures, this specific ingredient can definitely do that to you. Of course, without question, this can be added into your microneedling services, or, you know, even with association with something like pixelated lasers or any other forms of RF, and, you know, any anti-aging options. So really fantastic ingredient here. This is also reinforced by introduction of sodium DNA. This is a specific ingredient to recover and reverse the effects of photoaging. So unfortunately, this is not a vegan-friendly formula, as both of those ingredients are actually derived from byproducts of animals. The sodium DNA comes from salmon cartilage, so it actually comes from fish. And you know, when you have a vegan client, you may not be able to offer it to them, but the BioCell ampules do not have any derivatives of animal byproducts. You can safely use that for your vegan clients. The second formula is also extremely effective, and it is actually referred to as a multi-thread reversing ampule. In this situation, if you have more than just the photoaging or the aging as a kind of a genetic process to worry about, but you're also breaking out, you may also have issues with sensitivities in your skin or require extra whitening effect in your skin, you can then utilize these ampules here. They are reinforced by a slew of ingredients, which actually a lot of them come from fermentation processes, and it's 7 natural plant extracts. They listed on the bottom here. I can later give you some information about those, but it is referred to as a skin protector complex. So it does aid with whitening. It does aid with any type of, you know, anti-inflammatory recovery. And Irina just asked me if there's any side effects. No, there's no side effects. That can be very safely used on any skin type under any circumstances. So no worries here. Completely safe to use. We also do have a secondary kind of phenolic compound here that again can be used to sort of reactivate the natural antioxidative potential in the skin, the anti-inflammatory. And get this actually in areas like India, this is an Ayurvedic medicinal compound that has been used for hair loss prevention. So these ampules very much can be also used to elevate hair loss for your clients. So I strongly suggest use of these ampules. They are absolutely fantastic for you. They are, like I said, a little bit more expensive. They're going to contribute to the overall bottom line of your treatment cost, but don't be discouraged. They're not highly expensive, nothing to worry about. And they're actually break down to be quite efficient. So again, you can build them very similarly to the other ampules into the treatment overall. So that's something that we can also give you as a reference chart. And if you're wondering if there's really any effects from using these ampules, this is a treatment that was made with combination of both multi-thread as well as the bird's nest ampule. And you can see the recovery after a series of 4 treatments with these ampules. This was done also in conjunction with microneedling. So fantastic results here. Really nice. All right, and we're gonna kind of bring everything to the home line by introduction of our Lactopeel option for your clients, as well as some masking options. So with the Dr. Lactopeel, one of the things that we want to be able to actually bring to you guys and for you to be able to treat your clients with is this really fantastic, but definitely not your average AHA peel. So this is actually based on 30% concentration of glycolic acid with addition of lactic acid and polyhydroxy acids like lactobionic acid. So very, very different formula. It is a compounded amount of acids kind of put together. The entire formula is also reinforced with a Lactococcus ferment lysate. This is an ingredient that comes from, again, a fermentation basis, and it does kind of accelerate the exfoliative potential. So the base is also full of soothing ingredients and hydrating ingredients. It's not just glycolic acid. There's other ingredients added to it to protect their skin as the skin is subjected to the acidic agents. The overall pH of the formula is pH of 3 with matching pKa. So the strength of the acid is matched to the pH formula, making it incredibly effective. So with that, what are the differences? This line combines 2 active peels and a neutralizer. A neutralizer will be used after application of the peel for either one of the alpha or the beta peel. The alpha peel is definitely positioned for all skin types as it has the glycolic acid, the lactic acid, and all the ingredients I spoke about before. So definitely more suitable to clients who have pigmentation, aging skin, drier complexion, definitely for majority, I would say, of your clients. The beta peel is slightly different from the alpha as it also contains wintergreen extract, which is a great source of BHA, so things like salicylic acid. And it is positioned more for the oily, acneic, or, blackhead kind of ridden skins. How you work with the peels is also very strategic. What you might want to do is just dispense 1 to 2 pumps. They actually come with a little dropper. So 1 to 2 droppers in a little bowl. Then that is applied to the skin, dry skin. So definitely you want to make sure that there is no residue of water. Leaving the peel on for 10 to 15 minutes. And then going straight to neutralization with your pH neutralizer. The pH neutralizer is also reinforced with the lysate complex, and that will, of course, allow the skin to kind of recover in terms of the barrier, but also allow the skin to rebalance in terms of pH. So yes, it is definitely one of the focal ingredients here. We want to make sure that our clients understand it and that you understand it. And what's really nice about the peel is that it's also submerged or made in a form of a gel that is very hard to move. So if you, for example, would like to do a combination treatment for somebody who has more of the kind of breakout or oily T-zone kind of idea, you can apply the beta peel to the T-zone area and apply the alpha peel to the cheeks, the neck, the décolleté. It is completely possible, completely doable for your clients here. You don't have to worry about overlapping or adding the product. Very fantastic and quick application. For the results with the peel, this is actually a picture of an immediate result after the peel has been completed. So remember, I made that reference to a glass skin that is very much sought after in Korea. People like to have this kind of glowing, super glowing, dewy looking complexion. And you can see there's no evidence of irritation. There is no evidence of, dehydration or dryness in the skin. The skin is really comfortable right after the peel. So the process would look like this. You definitely want to prepare the skin with K solution first, just to eliminate any of the extra redness or irritation. So we're going to swipe that through. I'm just going to fast forward us here to application of the peel really quickly. So tap in the solution, pick your respective main care, which will be your Dr. Lactopeel. In this situation here, of course, they're going to be actually using the beta peel, but obviously you're using the one that's respecting to the overall skin type of the client. And the way that she's actually applying it is by the means of the brush, which I recommend. It is definitely the easiest and the most effective way to do this. So you don't have to worry about overlapping or going twice over one area. The peel is suspended in gel. You definitely feel the effect of the peel. There's no question about it. There will be some tingling. There will be some minor burning sensation in the skin, especially if the skin is thinner or more sensitive. But you can see that the gel does not move, stays in a place. So very, very easy to apply. We want to give it 10 to 15 minute application. And then, of course, there is the final recovery with the neutralizer. The neutralizer is actually in a pump bottle, and it comes out like a mousse. It has a very, very pleasant fragrance. It smells like apples, at least to me. So you can disperse the mousse to the skin and then work in it with your brush. Apply gloves to your skin and work it in really, really well into the skin afterwards. And then rinse with plenty of water. So yes, that has to be completely rinsed off, but your skin will be rebalanced and it will be protected. Then you can, of course, move on to your case, solution application, and respective mask and finishing products. So speaking about masks, we do have in here, how many weeks after microneedling can this be used? I would say probably within 2 weeks post microneedling, once the effectiveness of the flaking and the dryness from microneedling treatment itself, that's probably when you could position the Dr. Lactopeel after the treatment. For some specific skin types, you can actually use Dr. Lactopeel even in conjunction with microneedling. So that means you can resurface the skin first and then continue to microneedling service afterwards. But this has to be for a skin that is definitely thicker and it is a little bit more resilient to damage, right? That the effect there would be definitely more of like a penetration enhancing effect in the skin. So definitely for that. Now for recovery, so for the kind of, mask option. Oh, and then somebody had another question here. So Anna's asking, after applying neutralizer, do you remove the product with water? Yes, absolutely. You do have to remove the neutralizer from the skin with water. Typically, I do that with gauzes or sponges. That is the easiest way to deal with it. But please do not leave the neutralizer on the skin. Okay. So masks. So we do have an option now for a very, very breastfeeding and pregnant. Yes, Irina, you can use it on those clients, no problem. So for your NovaCell sheet mask, this is a mask that I would position as a sheet mask as a recovery to almost any type of irritating treatment or treatment that has been resurfacing in nature. So it is actually equipped with ingredients that will soothe the skin, that will rehydrate the skin. The mask is actually made on a material that resembles kind of like a gauzy, but very, very soft material. So even between what's in the mask and the way that the mask feels on the surface of the skin, the experience for your client is top notch. It's like a luxury sheet mask. We have been doing amazingly well with sale of these masks. And I'm going to show you also with application of this mask. So once you have the mask on the surface of the skin, you will also notice that you can use different type of modalities in conjunction with the sheet mask that is on the skin. So in this particular reason here, this is not something that we see a lot in Canada, like Canadian market, but it is Iontophoresis. I actually remember back in the day, we used to use these type of clip-ons to this type of products that kind of fell out of favor, but it's kind of making its way back into general application of aesthetics. So you will see that that is a possibility. You can use a microcurrent or an ultrasound device right on the surface of the mask. Or what you could also do is something like cooling globes or your cryo technology right on the surface of the mask as well. So fantastic treatment here. Now, for those of you that really do enjoy and love peel-off masks, we do have an option for that for your clients. There are 3 formulas that are available to us. We have the cooling mask, which is definitely most multi-purpose. So after treatments, especially like microneedling or some pro-inflammatory treatment where you're not only dealing with some transient redness, but you're dealing with a lot of heat that the skin is also generating as a result of the inflammation. You want to cool the skin quickly, recover the skin so the client does not have any side effects. That is the way to do it. So this one is definitely equipped with peppermint extract, but don't be worried here. I know peppermint has a specific type of renoma out there. This is an extract. It's a specific compound of peppermint. It does not have any of the spiciness or any side effects. It is just added here for extra cooling effect. And so it is best positioned for sensitive, damaged, and irritated skin. We do also have an Acti recovery modeling mask. So this one is formulated more for sebum control and anti-inflammatory effect, and of course for soothing and stress relief. And then finally, we also have a brightening modeling mask. This one is predominantly made with vitamin C, so L-ascorbic acid, kiwi fruit extract as an extra additive of antioxidants. Now, these masks, what's really attractive about them is that they are packaged in 1 kilogram weight in a bag. You will need about 40 grams of the mask per treatment, and it is mixed with approximately 20 ml of water. So when you mix it like this with cold water, you probably are enough to have about 25 treatments out of 1 bag of the mask, which breaks down to be something like $2 a treatment. It is very, very inexpensive, and yet it is so amazing for your client's skin and the recovery at the end of the treatment. So really fantastic options. I'm going to show you the mask in action as well. I have one more video here to quickly show you. And you will notice that they use gauze as a scaffolding agent for this mask, and you're going to notice exactly why they're doing that. Not that it is necessary for the mask to actually set on the skin. You could probably put it right on top. But if you're using some other agents like serums or the gel soothing chamomile gel that I talked about before, you can definitely use that as an extra layer to protect that gel from moving as you're applying the mask. So that is probably what they chose to do here. And then if you notice, she is using the corners of the gauze as a kind of a lifting effect for the client too. So that's really, really nice. Now Anna's asking, can you use sheet mask and add peel-off mask on top? Absolutely yes. In this case, I actually tested it. It's best to do it with also that extra layer of rough gauze on the surface. So if you're noticing here, guys, one of the things you're going to notice is that it's very easy to work with. It is a non-drip formula, stays in place, easy to peel off, not an issue for your client and for you to work with. So that is pretty much it for us. I'm really excited that I was able to bring this for you guys as a kind of a review. Expect more product offering from HUBISLAB in the nearest future. I believe that within 2 weeks or so, we should have a little bit extra products in terms of acne treatment, moisturizing treatments, anti-aging treatments as well. So I'll probably follow up with a secondary webinar. Of course, if you want to explore the products with a little bit more detail, come to classes in person if you're able to do it. We do now have our roster of classes released for February and as well as March. So if you are really, really interested in the line, please do take advantage of it. Yes, there will be more products available for retail for sure. I made sure of that, and you're going to have a plenty of products to sell to your clients from this line as well. Okay. Any other questions that you may have, please forward them to me. Some of you definitely have my direct contact information. If not, call the office. You will be passed on to me. And ladies, the reward for today. So really, really having the fact that, I understand I took a little bit of extra time, but if you are going to order any of the products, please refer to the fact that you were part of the webinar. We will give you automatic 15% off of your order of HUBISLAB for the next week. Okay. So definitely reach out to us. You can see our telephone number, which you probably very well know. If you're ordering online, not the worry. The girls will know that. Just put a little note that you were at the webinar. They will know to automatically give you the 15% off as well. Okay. So thank you very much for spending this hour and a bit with me. Again, if you have any other questions, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you by individual basis. And I wish you a great afternoon and a very nice weekend. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the thank yous as well. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye, everyone.